Hello everyone, it's Davide here and welcome back to Learning Finance. In today's video guys, I want to give an update on Coinbase stock. Coinbase, which went public in this week that is just finished, and we have seen that the stock opened at around $380 per share. I did a video before actually the stock went public and I told you how I wasn't bearish on the business. I actually like the business, I like the efficiency of it and what they have achieved. I was angry because the IPO hasn't been done earlier than that. And I told you how private investors and high net worth individuals that invested in the company earlier, they have done lots of money and were trying to use the IPO as a way to exit their investments. Now, after I said that, actually the stock went public, the stock went to actually touch around $430 per share, but then we see how the market didn't take it positively and the stock went down almost 20% from the IPO price. And now it's sitting at around 11% lower than that, okay? But we saw how, for example, Cathie Wood, she bought a lot of Coinbase stocks. At the moment, she has around 1 million shares. So she's very bullish on the company, obviously. Also, different analysts are becoming bullish on Coinbase. So you know that I told you I wasn't bearish on the business. And now that the stock actually is lower than the IPO price as I expected, is it now a buy? I mean, what kind of investment is Coinbase? And why is Cathie Wood so bullish on the company? So in today's video, I will try to explain you that and what are the risks, what can be actually the fair price of the company today. The only thing I ask you guys is please leave me a like, it's very important and I thank you for it. And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new updates. Let's begin. Alright guys, so the first thing that we have to understand about Coinbase is pretty simple. Here we have the revenues from 2016 and we see how overall the revenue exploded, but look at the cyclicality of it. This is pretty clear to see. 2017, if you look at Bitcoin graph, you have the first, one of the major, not the first because the first were back in the history, but one of the major bull run of Bitcoin. 2017 is where Bitcoin actually became famous for the first time. Then we have 2 years of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies actually doing nothing, okay? So going down, bear market, stagnation, lots of people got frustrated, and together with it, obviously, the revenue of Coinbase went down almost a half, okay, of what they have done in 2017, which was 927 million. Then we have 2020, the new bull run for Bitcoin, actually touching 1.14 billion in revenues in 2020, and now their expectations that we have seen which are huge, okay, just Q1 1.8 billion. And here is why in the first video, if you remember, I told you, look, they are doing the IPO in their best possible scenario, because for them the idea was to get the highest market cap as possible, and obviously if they did the IPO back when the crypto market was actually flat or doing nothing, obviously they wouldn't have been able to reach near $90 billion market cap at opening. And so this is why I told you that, in my opinion, lots of money have already been made, because this was an opportunity. This has been founded in 2012. Meaning that probably if they did the IPO just a couple of years earlier, right, it would have been way better for us retail investors to join an innovative investment, an innovative business in an innovative market. Now, another issue is that Coinbase at the moment makes money, basically all of it, from fees due to volumes, okay, transactions. And as we can see here, is pretty simple to see it. The number of users actually increased a lot since 2014, now around 56 million starting from 1. But if you go on and see, lots of those accounts are actually accounts that they do not buy and sell in a monthly basis, but they just hold. Look at the monthly active users or monthly transacting users, depending on how you want to call them. You have that. Now, sadly, we don't have 2017 data, but just to make you understand how the firm works, we can see 2018, 2019, the interest on Bitcoin and crypto was down, and you see how just roughly 3% of their users are active, okay? Then look at what happens when you have bull runs. So obviously, this is related to the revenue of Coinbase too. The psychology of people is that they want to buy stuff when they go higher, but they literally don't care when they actually get busted, right? As we have seen over there. This is something similar that we have seen with Robinhood volumes falling more than 20% since when basically the Nasdaq started to decline. And this is a main concern because let's say, what is your view on the Bitcoin and crypto market? Will it continue to grow at that pace, or can we have, let's say, another 1 year, 1.5 years, couple of years of Bitcoin actually retracing like 30% and don't do anything? Now, depending on your view, here is where your Coinbase investment comes, because Coinbase, first of all, is extremely related to the cryptocurrency market, and the future of it will determine the success and the future of the company itself. Now, one risk that I mentioned is regulation, but the major risk that I mentioned is competition, because Coinbase was the leading one together with Binance and Kraken back in the days over there. But now we have PayPal, Square, Cash App, Robinhood, so lots of new competitors coming into the market. And the risk is that those guys, they will or they can push fees very lower than that, how they are right now, like they did with stocks. And Coinbase makes at the moment 96% of their revenue from fees. So that obviously would not be positive for the business at all. Here we can see how Coinbase total transaction volumes actually went nuts in 2017, then decreased, to then go nuts once again in Q1 over there with Bitcoin at 60k per coin. However, an interesting point of Coinbase is that compared to these competitors, Binance, Robinhood, Kraken, they have a huge amount of assets under management, which are obviously crypto, stored there, okay, in their custody business. Now, what is the problem is that as of now, Coinbase is not able to monetize a lot from this business. But maybe going on in the future, this can be a nice revenue stream if they find a way to monetize it properly and diversify from fees. So this is something to really keep an eye on. Can be a positive thing for Coinbase going on in the future. So when it comes to the valuation and fair price, actually here is the same that I did in the previous video, and I'm not gonna change it because I think that it makes perfectly sense as of now to be conservative. So here I took what they said in 2020, and then I kind of annualize it by assuming that Bitcoin will not crash in 2021. Then going on in the future, I put a growth rate on average is what new innovative firms do, okay? So 35, 30. On average, this is a 27% growth rate over the next 5 years. I took their adjusted EBITDA margins, so it's adjusted, set it at 50%, then net income, set it at 35%. Awesome net income from a business. You're not going to see something similar to that very often. Free cash flow, I took it around 110% off net margins. Basically, the valuations that you have is the first one with the enterprise value from the EBITDA multiple, which is 18x. Now, usually I would take 25x for an innovative business, but the problem is that this is adjusted EBITDA, so it's higher in margins. So I took a lower multiple to compensate that. Discount rate of 12%, we will have around 100 billion in market cap. The DCF valuation with a 12% growth rate and a 4% perpetual growth after 2026, it gives us a $93.60 billion market cap, shares outstanding 261.3 million, fair price $358.21 per share. Now, this is a conservative valuation, okay? Because if we go on and take a look at what analysts are saying, for example, here, TipRanks, very interesting website, $536 per share, okay? With a high of 650, that's pretty easy to actually reach. Because first of all, I like to put higher discount rates on very innovative and new businesses. So I put 12%, but just if I put 10, you see how the fair price actually will go to 440 by keeping everything the same. Now, let's assume over there that I have been too conservative with margins. So we have that, for example, the EBITDA will continue to be higher than 50, so let's suppose 55, and that the free cash flow to the net margin instead of 110 is more near to 130%, okay? So a lot of tech companies are actually near that percentage. And look at that, actually, by changing efficiency, so by not being conservative on the efficiency of the business, and assuming that Bitcoin will do well, actually you have a $500 per share fair price for Coinbase, okay? So, meaning that the company can be undervalued today, as analysts are saying. So, when I see the risks, and I see Cathie Wood buying lots of shares, actually the reason, why is she so bullish about Coinbase? Well, the reason is pretty simple, because she's very bullish on Bitcoin and crypto overall. So, on average, even though we are gonna have competitions and stuff, if you have Bitcoin going to $500,000, Cathie Wood is saying clearly, which is 8x for where is it now, well, Coinbase will benefit a lot from it, okay, despite the competition and everything else. So she's bullish on the company because actually when she runs numbers, she's not concerned about the future growth of Coinbase. Basically, what she thinks is that this is not one of the best moments for Coinbase to do the IPO because it's gonna get better going on in the future. So that's the investment she's making. Clearly, guys, if you run the numbers by being positive on crypto, Coinbase it can still go higher. So as I told you, I'm not bearish on the business. I'm just angry and frustrated by the IPO methodology and timing of it, because if they would have done the IPO back in 2018 for us, retail investors, it would have been way better in terms of investment reward. At the moment, we are sitting on Bitcoin at 63, 64K, and we don't know exactly where it's gonna go. Are we gonna have another couple of years of market going sideways? Well, this will not be good for Coinbase revenue. And if that happens, if you have volumes going down, clearly the stock price as well will go down. So it's all about that, guys. If you decide to invest in Coinbase, it means that you are bullish on average on the cryptocurrency space. If they will be able to diversify with custody, so in order to reduce the exposure to just fees in transactions, the business plan is great, okay? I like the business, it's quite efficient. It's all about the future of crypto. Will crypto continue to go higher, or can it like stay flat for a bit? That would not be great for Coinbase. So this is the analysis. If you buy it, it means that you are bullish overall on crypto and you do not expect a crash coming forward. I hope you like the video, guys. At the moment, I do not hold any shares of Coinbase. Anyway, I'll continue to follow the company because those margins, guys, I just love them, okay? So I cannot pass on this. I need to actually continue to look at the company and think about it. Leave me down a comment with your opinion and subscribe to the channel if you want. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.